Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? What's going on? It's Kilo. We back for another episode of the regular podcast on the regular network. It's real. All right, y'all. I'm back, but I'm gonna keep it very light and brief today because you're gonna hear over time. I'm gonna clear my throat out a lot. It's about to get real crucial for me in my health. Not to say I'm having health problems, but I'm definitely getting sick. I feel it coming, so I'm trying to get this recorded for y'all. Get on some good topics. I'm gonna touch on some light things today, though. Nothing that's gonna have me needing or requiring me to do a lot of reading right now. I have mostly light, hot topic type of situations, and then I got one more heavy topic to get on. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. You know what I'm saying? As they do with church, when it's football Sunday, the pastor might let you leave early because his team might be playing something like that. When I was a kid, they didn't care about football, but nowadays, the times I've been to church, the times I've been to church in recent years, I hear the pastors referencing football. So I'm gonna take up a little bit of your time, then I'm gonna let y'all get off and do your thing, right? So make sure you subscribe to this channel, the regular podcast on YouTube. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on the video. Make sure you share the video. Trying to get these numbers up. We just released our year-end recap, like stats for the year. So as some of y'all know, this podcast is releasing on this YouTube channel, but we also have the regular network YouTube channel also. So the numbers that you're seeing on the stats recap is the two channels combined because it's all under the regular network umbrella or the regular network. Excuse me. So I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot. Excuse it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have much to assist me with my throat right now. I ate some ramen earlier thinking that would help me. Some authentic Chinese ramen, thinking that would help me. So far, no bueno. It didn't help yet. But we're gonna do what we can to get through this. One of the hottest things going on right now in like the relationship game. Actually, there's two crazy relationship pop culture things going on right now, and I say in the hip hop space more. The Cardi B and Offset thing is going on and it's hot. It's heating up. I hope it doesn't really get more public or hotter than it is now, because Cardi B just released a rant. Really, she wasn't even showing her face. She was so mad. She just had the phone sitting down. She just screaming and crying and all that, pretty much saying that she didn't say Offset's name, but she was like, yo, he playing with me. I'm not feeling the best about myself right now. I'm down. I'm not really doing a lot. I'm not outside like that, but you gonna play with me, all that. So she pretty much is really just venting. I don't really understand too much of what made her do that. But excuse me, I don't know what really made her post that, but it is seeming like she's spiraling a little bit. And I think a lot of it is having to do with, if she uses social media a lot and Nicki Minaj just dropped an album and her fans are in Cardi's comments like constantly, all day, every day, talking crazy to her, saying stuff about her, putting whatever type of emojis that they put, whatever the Barb's is doing right now to Cardi is working. I don't think just the relationship is making her lash out like that. Because last week, according to Cardi, they've been broken up for a while. So she said she's been single for a minute. So why now is Offset moving around and doing whatever he feel like doing? Why is that making you go on these rants like that? She must just be going through a bunch of things combined, and it's making her lash out like that publicly. Honestly, they're saying that Offset was out and about with the girls that Cardi B tried to beat up or jump or whatever like that. So that probably would send somebody over the top. But don't say you're single if you still gonna be clocking what the other person is doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then especially making something like that public. Nobody knew what was going on. You were just on the Breakfast Club, last month, like making it seem like, yeah, everything was cool. Y'all just go through stuff like every couple. So if that was the public image that you wanted, was to make it look like y'all was cool, then you shouldn't have went on this rant. You shouldn't have went and told everybody you were single. Like, what was the point of that? So now that's a big thing. I don't have a bunch to say about it. I really don't know too much of what's going on. Besides, I heard the rant, and then I seen what people on Twitter were saying, but I didn't deep dive into it. I don't even know where we're supposed to look to find more information about this. But another thing that happened though in the same kind of space. So if you're a battle rap fan, or if you have heard about something big that happened in battle rap this year, Easy the Block Captain battled against Geechee Gotti. And in that battle, there was an explosive third round where Geechee Gotti went at Easy, and then he turned and started battling Remy, telling Remy how much of a piece of shit she was, pretty much, for cheating on her husband, who held her down all these years while she was in prison, and who'd been holding her down since then. They was the symbol for black love, and she cheated on her husband, Papoose, with Easy the Block Captain. So that was a big thing. It went viral. It was going crazy this year, right? And everybody was pretty much denying it. Easy was denying it. Remy wasn't saying nothing about it. And then now, again, this is battle rap stuff. So John the Don and Easy the Block Captain have a battle on Saturday, December 16th, right? And John released some audio recordings showing or letting us hear that Easy actually did admit to messing with Remy. He actually did admit that Papoose punched him in the face 2 times. He said he hit me with 2 clean ones. He was like bragging, like, I didn't have no bruises. I wasn't bleeding. Like, you bragging about not bleeding, but you got punched in the face over a female and you didn't do nothing about it. Okay, whatever. So pretty much in the recording, Easy the Block Captain was saying pretty much like, we could spin this whole thing to our benefit and maybe Love and Hip Hop will pick it up. And he almost was kind of insinuating that we all win because we can get some money out of it. And I just, to me, that made me realize, and a few other, because watching Easy the last like year since he's been blowing up in battle rap, it's making me realize that Easy is kind of a little bit delusional. And he don't really understand what's going on. It's like, you would assume that because Easy is like 35, 36, or maybe older than that years old, that him coming into this popularity right now, he would be more equipped to handle what's going on than like a younger person. Like if he was 21 years old and he came into a bunch of popularity. But he's acting like a very young person right now. He's just delusional. He's saying he's bigger than Tay Rock. He's doing stuff like, okay, so you went and you found the way in to deal with Remy Ma, and maybe you was a side dude. Maybe I don't know if you think that's cute or whatever to have sex with a married woman. Like that was cool at some point in life when we was young though. You know what I'm saying? When you hit your mid 30s, you start to more so understanding how serious people is about their marriages, and not just the person cheating. That's not the only person in the marriage. The other person, if they find out, they might kill you. You see what I'm saying? And as we get older, that's why people that get older stop dealing with married people, because they realize like it's not worth it. I don't even want to be in the middle of that, because if your spouse did that to you, you would understand your type of reaction. It might go crazy. So Easy is bragging about messing with Remy. He's like, yeah, so we could get maybe Love and Hip Hop will pick it up, and then I'll be known as the boy that she cheated with. And like, why you don't want to be known for that, because the image that Remy and Papoose had together was a great image. You being looked at as the side dude to the symbol for black love, you don't look good. You're not going to look good. It's not going to be a win for you when the world finds out who you is, because after the Geechee battle went, you versus Geechee battle, Easy versus Geechee battle went viral, people didn't know who you was after that still. They thought Geechee was battling Remy Ma. Like they had no clue who Easy was after that battle. It's just the battle rap community knows who Easy is and is watching him and waiting to hear what he had to say about all this stuff. But the larger hip hop world and media and all that, they don't know who Easy is. They didn't even realize he was standing there when the clip went viral. They didn't know who he was. There's people that seen Remy Ma and Easy out and thought Easy was Papoose, because they got similar features. They don't look alike, but they got same like archetype. They look familiar, similar to each other, right? People have no clue who Easy the Block Captain is, and he's in his mind like a young dude, like he's 20 years old or something. Like, yeah, we could, this kind of like help us, like I could get a check out of it, and we all win. Love and Hip Hop pick it up. Like, why? What person coming up out the streets is looking at it like somebody punched me in my face over their wife, and I could spin this into some Love and Hip Hop money? Man, listen, it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. I just think that Easy should stop talking so much. This is not the first time Easy has been recorded on conversations saying things about people he shouldn't be speaking about, right? And that's not to say that the person who recorded him is right or wrong. It's to say you keep on having these in-depth conversations with people that are not even close enough to you to not record calls. So you must just be telling random people this information because they're so comfortable recording you while you divulging that type of information. So you have bad discernment, terrible decision-making skills, and you acting delusional when it comes to some of these battles and some of the rhetoric you've been spewing over the last couple months. In particular about you saying that you was a bigger draw than Tay Rock right now. You're never going to be a bigger draw than Tay Rock. His run, you just never, it's not a thing. All right, so hopefully Easy will grow up a little bit, stop running his mouth so much. I'm assuming that Papoose found out that he was messing with Remy probably because Easy was running around telling people and it got back to Papoose. That's just my assumption. Okay. So yeah, man, I think you should figure that out, let that go, my G. And in other rap news, if y'all have been paying attention, week 3 of YSL trial didn't even happen. So what happened was one of the defendants in the YSL trial, I think on Sunday, he got stabbed up real bad. So then they came to court on Monday and they told the jury, hey, we have a medical emergency. We're going to recess for the whole day and y'all come back tomorrow. So then Tuesday came and the guy, Shannon Stillwell, still wasn't recovered. The defendant that was stabbed, he was nowhere near recovered. So they were like, you know what we got to do? We got to shut down the trial we're going to have to go on recess until January. That's bad. So he must have got stabbed up. I don't think they didn't release like the details of the stabbing, but it's bad enough that he was in the hospital and it's bad enough that they had to recess until January. So taking pretty much 3 weeks off due to this stabbing, it must have been a pretty bad situation. And the thing about it is, we are in a time period where social media is too ubiquitous. There's no avoiding it. There's no avoiding some conversations. If you are in and around or entertained by topics such as hip hop or whatever, there's no way you're going to avoid seeing YSL news when you open up your phone or open up any app. You're going to see it, right? So the jury members are going to see that this defendant got stabbed. Some people might look at it like he was a victim. That should kind of help, but it's not going to help. Being a victim in a gang case, it looks like this was a gang stabbing. It looks like somebody retaliated against you for some type of gang activity. So him being stabbed, him being the victim in this crime, in this particular crime, actually hurts him. And the judge thinking that he's like saving or keeping it unbiased by not telling them what happened, it doesn't really matter. They're going to find out anyway, right? So I just think, man, it's really all around ugly. There's no way that you are going to get any objectivity. I mean, you never would get objectivity in a criminal case, but this one in particular, there's no way you get a non-fan or a non-opposition, or no way that you get neutral parties in that jury. I think everybody involved has a stance before they heard any evidence. That's just my take. But so we'll get back to the YSL coverage when January hits. Right now, there is no coverage. It's they're on recess until after the holiday breaks. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Young man, hold in there, hold on, stay safe in there, put your PPE on, all that good stuff. Maybe you might want to stay in your cell right now. They probably put you in protective custody. Honestly, if you got a high profile trial, you're supposed in a gang war, gang things going on, and they already hitting you up and all that in the middle of your trial, they don't even want you to get your time. They're trying to get rid of you in the middle of the trial. So somebody's looking at you like it's up. No matter what, it's on site. If we see you, it don't matter what's going on, we're going to get at you. So, man, you never want to be in a beef like that. But if that's the life you chose, that's the life you chose. You understand? I did want to also discuss LeBron James. What y'all think? Like, y'all do know Michael Jordan's last year in the league, he was good for, like, Mike could give you 30, 40. I think he scored 50 points one game in his last year. Like, when Mike retired, he wasn't done with basketball skill. Like, he could still play. He just bowed out. In my theory, he left because LeBron was coming. He didn't want nothing to do with that young bull. That's just what I think. Of course, he was older, but 15 years is not crazy. Like, Mike only played 15 years, I think, right? Played like 15 years, and he was still scoring crazy. He averaged like 20 that final season, 20 plus that final season. So why you left the year Bron got, like, Bron was coming. He knew, and he was in the Eastern Conference. He knew he was going to get drafted by the Cavs. So he knew, and plus he knew about Bron years before he got in the league. And I bring that up to say, look at LeBron's career, right? And how long he's been dominant. LeBron has been dominant when through the periods of time when they say the new LeBron is here. When all the hype was around, what's my man out of Kentucky? Damn, he went to Kentucky. I can't even think of his name. Damn, I can't think of his name. Am I thinking? No, maybe not Kentucky. But anyway, let me go past that. When Andrew Wiggins was coming into the league in high school, when he was a high schooler, they were saying he was the next coming. He was about to be the greatest thing that we ever seen, greatest recruit. They was comparing him to the hype around LeBron. They wasn't comparing him specifically to LeBron, but they were saying, like, is he one of the most hyped players we ever seen? He had to see LeBron. Bron went head up. People don't even remember that he was a super hyped person like that. And then comes a few years later, Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson now is, hey, we got the next biggest thing since LeBron James. Is he going to surpass Bron? Is he going to be one of the best ever that we ever seen? Bron stayed in the league. He didn't run. Zion was making people look crazy, dunking on him, muscling everybody. Bron didn't run, played against him, did his thing. Bron's still on top. Now we're in the newest iteration of the most hyped player, and it's Wembanyama. Wemby. LeBron, again, didn't run, still playing, still going at the young bull, head up. Wemby might get him some, Wemby might look good against Bron. Bron gonna look good against Wemby, but LeBron is not running from these young dudes. You see what I'm saying? And that's just to say, look how many of these new potential GOATs have come in, and LeBron is still here and still one of the best players in the league. That's how long he been doing this. I think I was thinking about Jabari Parker earlier. I think he might have went to Duke. But anyway, Bron has remained at the top of the NBA. Maybe if you don't want to say the best player in the league, okay, whatever, but he's one of the best players in the league still through all of this. Bron been so good so long. The Warriors dynasty started in the middle of LeBron's career. He's still good after their dynasty is pretty much over. Like, people looking at their team thinking, like, are they about to trade Clay? And people think they want to trade some people now, like some of their key components now. The Warriors, this is the Dynasty Warriors, 4 rings in 7 years or whatever it was. Let me see. Yeah, like, 4 rings in 6 years? Something like that. They had a full dynasty in the middle of Bron's career. They are pretty much falling apart, looking old now, and Bron is still up here. Bron is still up here while he outlasted a full dynasty. Not to mention, the Warriors just won a championship in 2021, right? They ran into LeBron and AD in the playoffs in 2022, and the Lakers beat them, the champions. So, like I said, he's still so good, so dominant that he's outlasting stuff that was supposed to be like the LeBron killer or the new Bron or whatever. Like, that's how long this dude been in the league and been dominant. Is just really crazy. Even if you don't think he the GOAT, let's just say you think whatever. You could think anybody's the GOAT. It don't really matter. I'm just talking about how this dude been dominant throughout all of these different quote unquote obstacles, just going crazy, and the best player on every team he played on. That's the key right there. At year 20, he's not doing what Kareem was doing at year 20. He's not doing what Shaq was doing when he started going on a tour playing for every team in the league. He's not there. He haven't even hit the point in his career where it looks like, okay, he's the old guy that's doing the Udonis Haslem thing. He's just the moral support on the team. He's still carrying these people 20 years in. That's unheard of. That's really absurd. And we talking about somebody that has been a NBA level talent since he was 16 years old. He could have came into the league as a junior in high school and played. Bron at in 11th grade was as good as Kobe was when Kobe was in the league his rookie year. That Bron could have averaged the same thing as Kobe rookie year did as a 16, 15-year-old. That's how good and how long he been this good. It's kind of crazy. I just wanted to talk about that because I just think it's like he been so good so long. Like the Patriots won how many rings since, like 4 rings since he been in the league, and Bill Belichick is getting fired this year. Like they're not even looking, like Bill Belichick ain't even himself no more. That's how long Bron been going crazy. Let me get my money. That's how long Bron been going crazy. Popovich ain't himself no more. The Spurs just went on an 18-game losing streak. They did break it by beating the Lakers. But still, though, I'm just saying, like, the people that was on top and should have been here for a very long time, it's like they falling off now. They well, Clay did just have a 30-point game, but they feeling like Clay is damaged goods now. Clay can't get himself right since he came back from his injury. That's how people feel now. Like the Warriors is done. Draymond is out indefinitely because he can't keep his hands off people. Like it's like these dynasties are no more, and he's still standing on top of the mountain. If he's not at the very top, he's up at the top with the other best players in the league right now. It's crazy. I ain't mean to really go on that rant about Bron like that, but I just think it's wild how he's still going. It's crazy. Bron came in the league. I was in middle school. Think about it. And so now, just like a heavier topic, I'm gonna have to get my phone for this one. A heavier topic to discuss. I'm sure some of y'all have heard about it. I'm sure some of y'all are purposely ignoring it because it doesn't fit your the narratives that a lot of people like to spin. Let me see. A lot of the narratives that people like to spin is that, you know, black people can't get things because we're just too lazy and we don't know business and we don't understand stuff and just all the stupidity, right? So a report just came out. CNN did a report, and it was based on. Let me get the right info for you. CNN pretty much did a report. They wanted to look at mortgage denial, mortgage acceptance rate or approval disparity between the races in America, pretty much white and black, right? So, but CNN reported on another report that was done by the my bad, y'all. Let me pull this up. Because there's 2 different articles. There's an article talking specifically about the Navy Federal thing. Then there's one looking at the entire landscape. Let me see here. Oh, boy. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. My bad. I'm trying to find a report that CNN is referencing when they went here. Excuse me. Damn. My bad. This is one of the ones, like I said, was a little heavier. Okay, here we go. The CNN analysis was based on the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, and it's pretty much, it requires most financial institutions to report anonymized information on mortgage applications to the government, pretty much including applicants' race. So pretty much, if you are a lender for mortgages in America, if you're a large one anyway, you have to report to the government. You have to pretty much give them all the applications. You just have to, it says anonymized, so no names, but all the rest of the information, including their race, you have to turn over to the government. And this allows the government to track and make sure that every lender is doing what they're supposed to do, which is funny because Navy Federal knows that the government is tracking it, yet they still decided that they were going to deny black borrowers or black potential borrowers at twice the rate of white borrowers, my bad. So they just flat out just didn't care. So essentially, let me read the headline. The nation's largest credit union rejected more than half its black conventional mortgage applicants. So pretty much people, I want to go get a house and I want a loan. I want to use a conventional loan, meaning I'm going conventional, so I got to put down at least 5%, and I'll have to pay mortgage insurance until I get up to paid off 20% of the home value or the loan value, and then I could knock that PMI off, right? Anyway, conventional mortgages, right? Black people are trying to do conventional mortgages for a single family home, the home that they plan on living in. And Navy Federal is denying more than half the black applicants, as opposed to they're approving 75% of white applicants. Right? Now, some people might, I've seen some people in some comments talking about, yeah, that's because black people don't have the documentation that we need. Some people talking about, well, yeah, because black people ain't good with our money. Black people don't have good credit. Listen, I need y'all to stop repeating these white supremacy talking points. First of all, you sound stupid. Second of all, it's always funny with the people that say that type of stuff. They're always excluding themselves. They know about mortgages. They know about taxes. They know about credit. It's all you other Negroes. Y'all don't know about it, but I do know. Why y'all always talking about how you black? You say black people don't do this, but you think you do it. But you just saying all the other black people, just nobody else knows how to fill out a mortgage application. What you mean black people don't have the documentation they need? When you go to do a loan application, they don't say, oh, you didn't give us all the right documents, I'm denying you. They'll tell you exactly which documents. Before they even say approve or deny, they'll give you a chance to gather the documents, and then they'll take them. They can't even give you an approval or denial until they get the information from you. So saying we don't have that tells me you never did a mortgage before. It tells me you never owned a house. You're talking about black people don't have the documentation. And then for the people saying, oh, black people don't have the right type of credit. When reports like this come out, they understand how stats work. They are comparing people with similar incomes. They're comparing people with similar credit profiles. They're comparing people with similar debt to income ratio. They're comparing people that have similar education backgrounds. They're comparing people that have similarities across many different factors. So don't say that it's just the black ones. What, you think they comparing a black person making $40,000 a year to a white person making $250 a year with 800 credit score? Is that what you think? So you don't know anything about this information. So you should just probably read the report. And had you read the report, you would have seen that Navy Federal is approving more white borrowers that make less than $62,000 a year than they are approving black borrowers making over $140,000 a year, both with similar credit profiles. So let's just really think about that. If I'm black and I make $140,000 a year, I'm more likely to be denied for a mortgage from Navy Federal than the white person making less than $62,000 a year. And y'all telling me that black people don't have a real gripe when we say things like racism are still very much alive and well, and it's a systemic thing working against us. Some of y'all think, oh, we just no, all you got to do is work harder. That's all y'all think. Like, it's not just about working harder. The reason you think it's all about working harder is because you never actually done anything. You haven't actually been in these spaces where real stuff is going on. Because if you were, you would see that at high levels and high level corporate and stuff like that, they're not looking for the hardest workers. They're looking to put on who they're connected with. That's the beginning and end of that statement. They're not saying, who can we hire to be an executive VP? Are we looking for the person that works the hardest? Or are we looking for the person who was working at one of our competitors, but I went to college with him and I know him? That's what they're looking for. That's how they make these decisions. They're not saying we want the hardest workers. Only you think that because somebody tricked you into thinking black people don't work hard enough, which is stupid. Because for the history of the time we've been in this country, the only thing we've done is work. We worked so much that they had to start denying us we worked so much, they had to come up with a new term to keep us out of jobs. You know what the term was? You're overqualified. They invented that to tell black people that we couldn't get the job, even though we were more than qualified to get a job. They came up with overqualified. And y'all think we don't work hard enough. Idiot. And another thing that I want to make sure we keep in perspective, Navy Federal had the biggest gap between approvals for white and black borrowers, but they were just one of many banks that had big gaps or had gaps for what they approved for white borrowers and what they approved for black borrowers. I don't know why CNN put so much emphasis on Navy Federal just because they're at the top. I think they should have given us an entire list and showed us all the banks that have these wild disparities when it comes to white approval and black approval. I'm going to have, for me to, I have to put that list together myself, because we don't need to just we do need to get on Navy Federal's head, but we don't need to only focus on them. We need to look at lending as a whole, as an industry. This whole industry has a bunch of racist practices that are against black people. Let me give y'all let me tell y'all what Navy Federal said, right? Let me tell y'all what because Navy Federal put a statement out, right? And of course the statement was foolish. I'm gonna tell you what let me tell you what the statement is. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Then this headline say, what may be widening the gap? So the gap is growing. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Trying to pull up the statement from Navy Federal, a Navy Federal representative. And there's one important piece I want to point out what the Navy Federal rep said, right? So they pretty much, of course, they're trying to deny it. What they're trying to say is that, CNN just looked at a bad report. Pretty much that report is not good, is what they're trying to say. Here we go. Let me see. CNN's recent analysis of mortgage lending data does not accurately reflect our practices. And furthermore, the mortgage data model does not account for major criteria required by any financial institution to approve a mortgage loan. That's a lie. The thing that the cold part about Navy Federal saying that is that we all know the criteria. You need to have income. Your income needs to match up with the loan that you're attempting to get. You need to have tax returns. You need to have a license, or you need to have some type of identification that shows that you're a citizen. Not that you're a citizen. I don't know if you need to be a citizen, but you have to have some type of ID, because you have to give them your ID, because they need to verify where you currently live. You need to have pay stubs showing that you're still getting paid. You need to have, and you need to show them your bank accounts. You need to act like give them access to your bank account. They have these technologies that you pretty much log into your bank account from their system. They'll go through, get your statements, and then use it like that. Pretty much they need to see debt to income, right? So what major criteria was CNN missing out on? Or what major criteria? They got the report from the Home Mortgage Act. How's CNN wrong about that? Like that information came directly from what Navy Federal turned over to the government. So I'm confused about that. This is one thing, right? We are proud of the fact that we provide a higher percentage of mortgage loans to black applicants than the vast majority of the top 50 mortgage originators nationwide. We provide a higher percentage. It's probably because you're one of the biggest, but you're also denying by percentage the most black people as well. So like I said, they're trying to use the whole, hey, those other people are doing bad too. So like, we're not that bad because those other people, they're doing bad too. Which is why I say CNN should have put the whole list of top 50 and gave us their gaps between white and black approval. That's what I think. I have to go find it myself and do that report. Look at what Navy Federal said. This is why I knew they was on trash, right? And this is what a lot of companies do. Navy Federal has more than 350 branches worldwide, and over half of our stateside branches located in minority communities. Okay, but we was talking about black people though. So then why are you telling us what's in minority community? Do y'all know that white women are minorities? Do y'all know that gay white men are minorities? So, and then of course, all the other minorities, I want all the black people that live in black neighborhoods and black areas, black zip codes and all that. If you get a chance to see this, I want you to tell me what's the closest Navy Federal bank branch to you. Tell me what's the closest Navy Federal branch to you. Black people from all over the country, all over the world. Tell me what's the closest one to you. I'm going to tell you right now, if you live in Atlanta, is just starting to grow with a few different more Navy Federals, but they're not like in black areas. They're in like at most mixed areas, at most mixed. But if you're black and you live outside of Atlanta and maybe parts of Maryland, you probably don't have a Navy Federal in your zip code. Anywhere in your zip code. You probably don't have one in the zip codes next to you. I'm just saying, more than likely, if you're a black person in America, it's very likely you do not have a Navy Federal in your zip code. And if you do, it's because you live in a zip code that is not predominantly black. I would bet that. And the people who do have Navy Federals in their zip code, I want you to tell me. I could do the same. I don't know if y'all remember, I did a Whole Foods research project where I showed that Whole Foods is avoiding black zip codes. Even black zip codes that have similar income and college graduation rates as white zip codes where they have stores at in other parts of the country. Because people try to say that Whole Foods only goes places where they have a certain level of college graduates because that's where their customers are at. So whatever, I did the research on that. I could probably do the same one on Navy Federal, and it would probably look similar. It'd probably be worse than Whole Foods, actually. So I want y'all to go look up this report. This is a CNN report. They're discussing Navy Federal and the disparities between the black approval versus white approval, even with similar incomes, similar debt to income ratio, similar credit profiles. I want y'all to go look that up, man. It's a sick thing. I've been with Navy Federal since I was 17 years old, right? Because I went into the Navy. So I've been with Navy Federal since I was 17. And I never had issues like that. And most people that I know have never had a bad experience with Navy Federal, but it don't matter if I had a bad experience. The data that Navy Federal handed over to the government says that they are denying black people at a higher rate than every other bank in the country, every other credit union in the country. So it don't matter what experience I had. Navy Federal said, we've been denying these niggas. So we've been denying them. Figure it out. So Navy Federal, we want to see some change. I want CNN, or I'm going to do it. We're going to put out the rest of the list. We're going to see what other banks been denying. We want all of them to change. I'm sure Wells Fargo was up there too. You know, Wells Fargo been getting in trouble for some years for all the crazy stuff they've been doing. So, you know, shout out to Quicken Loans. I'm sure that they are not high on that list because they just want to give out loans to everybody. You understand? So Rocket Mortgage, whatever you want to call them, that's owned by Quicken Loans. But whatever. Y'all, that's all I really got, man. Like I said, all my stuff is messed up right now. I'm raspy. Been having to clear my throat out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Regular Network. And that's it, man. Peace out.